Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit Acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com. Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. From gourmet snacks to unique finds, each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.
Hey, you. Welcome to the Cam Show. It's Thursday, a big Thursday. Today is the day. U.S., Canada, round 2. This time for all the 4 nations marbles. No, what is truly a very important day in American hockey history coming to us tonight, 8 o'clock, 8:20 Eastern Time, ESPN, Sean McDonough, great South Shore native, will be calling this action. Golly, I cannot wait for it. We will talk about it later on in the show. I got to talk some big-time Red Sox trade rumors that are coming across the board. We'll also talk with Matt Berry of the Bruins Benders podcast. We're going to talk some Bruins there. I don't know how much Matt's watching the Four Nations, so we'll have to talk a little Charlie McAvoy injury, how the Bruins are responding to that. It's kind of a dramatic situation there. And then, of course, we will preview the game, a massive night in American hockey history. All that coming up on this episode of The Cam Show. We've talked about the drama at Red Sox spring training, with Devers and Bregman and Casas and Cora, and there's all kinds of sound bites going around about this team, and it's really delayed our, analysis of what this team has done in the offseason, because after the Bregman deal, you look at it and you think, okay, kind of like the moves they made here. Still could have made some more, absolutely. Thought they should have made some more in the free agency department for pitching, but overall, I think you've put together a pretty solid roster here, and you had a pretty good offseason. And now some more wild rumors are being thrown out there. And it has to do with another situation north of the border. U.S., Canada. It just comes up in every sport now. But the Blue Jays have missed their deadline set by Vlad Guerrero Jr. and his agent to have him sign an extension. And in fact, Vlad Jr. told the media that the two sides weren't even close. They weren't even close when it comes to the negotiating table. So Vlad Jr. enters a contract year at age 26. I think he's just about to turn 26. He still hasn't even hit his prime yet. It's like the Soto thing. Still hasn't even hit his prime. And he is about to be out of contract with the Blue Jays. And as we've seen with Toronto attracting free agents, probably going to be tough to re-sign him. But this is interesting. They were willing to give somewhere in the neighborhood of $700 million to be at the end of the race for Juan Soto, and they can't meet a demand for Vlad Guerrero Jr. They'll sign multi-year extensions recently with Randall Grichuk, but not Vladimir Guerrero Jr. The Blue Jays, as we know it, this once promising era of Toronto Blue Jays baseball is soon to be over, if not over already. After having a really bad 2024, they're probably going to lose both Vlad Jr. and Bo Bichette. One of those is a lot more damaging than the other. And now Bob Nightingale is reporting that the odds-on favorite to trade for Vlad Guerrero Jr. before that contract is up is the Boston Red Sox. Now, we know there's been some interest before. The Red Sox obviously still could use a big hulking right-handed power hitter in the middle of the lineup. I don't think Alex Bregman necessarily fits that role, fits that need the Red Sox have. And there's also been rumors in the past that Vlad would like to play in Boston, would like to play for the Red Sox. And so, conventional wisdom had us thinking that after the 2025 season, the Red Sox would go out and make a huge splash to sign him. But it could come even quicker than that. The Red Sox were certainly active in the trade market in the offseason, both with the starting pitching move that they made to go get Garrett Crochet, trading a couple prospects, but also they threw the names around for Tristan Casas, who has been in the news recently, as well as Wilyer Abreu, their young corner outfielder. And so they're willing to part with some guys on their major league roster in order to make a big splash. So now there's questions as to whether Vlad will be dealt at the trade deadline and what that could mean for a haul that Toronto will get. What kind of premium will these teams have to pay to get Vlad Guerrero Jr. on July 30th without a guarantee that he will re-sign for them in the future? Could the Red Sox be in on that? Could that be what the Red Sox need come the stretch run here? I doubt it. Not that they won't need a Vlad Jr., but I doubt that that's the move they'll make, because trading within the division comes with a whole nother premium, let alone a guy who is at the end of a contract or, being traded in the middle at the trade deadline for a contending team. Those are three wildly different things. Contending team, you're going to have to pay a lot. Within the division, you're going to have to pay a lot. Without a contract extension or some sort of guarantee, though, you might not have to pay a lot. But then again, we've already heard that Vlad wants to come here. So there's so many moving parts here that would come with a trade. Now, if the Red Sox wait till free agency in 2025-26 here, that becomes a different ballgame. Because then, if the Red Sox have any balls, which they've said they've had and haven't really shown outside of this Bregman deal, if they have any kind of balls, they will go out and sign Vlad Jr. to a Raffy Devers type of contract. It'll actually probably need to be a little bit more, but somewhere in that 10 to 12 year range for a 26-year-old, they're going to have to do. He can actually play the field. He can play first base pretty well. And you could stick him there. And that way, you could still use your trade chips for starting pitching, a position that you do not want to go and spend on in free agency. You've proven that very clear since 2015 when you got David Price, that you're not willing to go out and get free agent starting pitchers. So now you're able to get the big fish in Vlad Jr. All it cost you is money, and you still have Casas and Abreu and whomever in the prospect pool that you want to trade for a top-end starting pitcher. If I had to guess, I'm guessing that's the way the Red Sox are going to go. But you want to talk about filling a need. Vlad Jr., boy, does he ever fill a need for you. Okay? I mean, this is a guy, of course, we mentioned it, the hulking right-handed bat, great for Fenway, right? And also, he can play the infield, which don't know that Raffy Devers can anymore. I don't think he can do it. And he's still only 26. It's only 26. And how about this to whet your appetite, Red Sox fans? In 45 games in Fenway Park in his career, 45 games, damn good sample size there. 358, 64 hits, 10 homers, 44 RBI. 44 RBI in 45 games in Boston. Like, how does that not get you licking your chops? How does that not get you to say, you know what, man, it ain't my money. Have him name the price. Let's do this thing. Let's have the Bash brothers of Guerrero and Devers for the next 10 years. And no one will have to complain. Again, while Guerrero isn't an elite first baseman, he's fine. He's got the similar range that Raffy Devers has, except he's playing a less demanding infield position. One of them can DH. One of them can play first base. And you just don't get any big guys for the next decade. That's all. That's all. That solves a lot of issues for you. And then you've got your, dare I say, your David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez, 3-4 spot for the next 10 years. And let's let the championships flow in. Because this thing with Toronto is done. There's no way he's sticking with the Blue Jays. It's just not going to happen at this point. Once those deadlines pass, once the players and the agents set a deadline and that comes and goes, we're done here. And obviously there's all kinds of problems with Canada in terms of the dollar and the tax that comes with it. There's obviously major taxes in Massachusetts too, but not the same way the Canadian dollar is going. It's a huge difference. So I just doubt he's signing a long-term contract in Toronto. And he's expressed that interest with the Red Sox before. You put him alongside Devers in the lineup, and Who knows? Who knows how far this team can go? I think it makes perfect sense for the Red Sox. I just think it makes more sense as a free agent signing rather than a trade either now before camp or on July 30th. It's too bad it's not July 31st anymore. That's my birthday. Used to be fun to say. Maybe, who knows? Maybe this Rafi Devers drama just never gets solved and he gets traded for Vlad Jr. And you say, hey, you've got your power hitter for 10 years and we want that power hitter for 10 years. Crazier things have happened, I guess, right? Anyway, I think going and signing him after this season is the best of both worlds for the Red Sox. It shows that you are willing to spend money on other positions, on huge positions of need, commit long-term money like you did with Devers a couple years ago, albeit under a different regime, and that you are willing to build the team in the mold of your championship teams in the past. Right? You had Manny and Ortiz. You had Ortiz and Napoli. You had Betts and JD Martinez, who, were a little more fit than these guys, Devers and Guerrero, but still, same thing, right? Power hitting, middle of the order. That's what this team is going to need long term. They haven't developed a ton of that. And if you can get, even like, let's say next trade aside, if you're able to get into Guerrero and have Guerrero and Devers for years, plus Roman Anthony, Christian Campbell, Marcelo Meyer, you're in really good shape. Really good shape. We are in good shape over here at the Cam Show. Can't say the same exactly for Charlie McAvoy of the Boston Bruins. And his team is really upset with his national team when it comes to this injury. We're going to have Matt Barry of the Bruins Benders podcast. We're going to talk McAvoy. We're going to talk a little Bruins, maybe even a little Bruins coaching search. That's coming up next on the Cam Show.
Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. At 25 Home, our ultimate goal is to provide you with a transformative experience, making each day feel like it has an extra hour. We believe your home is more than just a space, it's a sanctuary where comfort, relaxation, and happiness thrive. Discover the difference at 25 Home today. Shop now at 25home.com.
I need to get real excited.
Sure.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Sheridan Vasquez. And this is Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions. And I will be interviewing some of your favorite musicians and maybe some you've never heard before. Join me on Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions for something new every time. You can find Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemediamusic.com. Yeehaw. And keep the music playing.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. Turn your passion into profit? With Blogify, creating a blog has never been easier. Build, customize, and grow your site with powerful tools designed for beginners and pros alike. Start sharing your story today and watch your audience grow with Blogify. Visit blogify.ai today for a free 3-day trial. That's Blogify, Blogify.ai today. Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Stay connected no matter where you are with eSIM-X. Say goodbye to expensive roaming charges and physical SIM cards. With access to over 200 global carriers, we make mobile connectivity seamless and affordable for travelers worldwide. Join the future of communication today at esimx.com. That's ESIMX.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
EasySun has been living fearlessly under the sun since 2016. Born from sailors' need for convenient sun protection, our mineral sunscreen is crafted with natural ingredients offering broad spectrum protection against UVA and UVB rays. Safe for your skin and the environment, stay protected on the go with EasySun, your ultimate sun care solution. Visit EasySun.com today. That's EEZYSUN.com.
Welcome in here on the Cam Show. Matt Barry of the Bruins Benders podcast, joining us every Thursday. Now, Matt, I have to start here. I have to ask, have you and Smitty and Connor come around on the Four Nations a little bit since we last talked?
Well, I mean, we have. I'm surprised. I really am, because I thought the NHL was talking it up. I thought the players were kind of doing what the NHL wanted them to say, and I didn't think their play would back it up, but it's become like the Olympics. It's become like something that's really important to everybody. And I think that Smitty made a good point yesterday, and that a lot of these guys didn't have a chance to play for US and may not have a chance to play for US. This might be the only chance. So, or Canada. So, and some might have, this might be the last hurrah. So, I mean, we didn't take that into account, that would be a factor too. And for whatever reason, hockey players tend to love to play for their country. So it's been great. I mean, it's been high-end hockey. Obviously, that USA-Canada game the first time was, 3 fights early and then big hits and, an overtime goal and, just some really great hockey. So, it's, hey, I love it. I just hope they don't screw it up coming down the road here.
I mean, me too. And this is where it's weird, because there's still, I think, a good chance that this is the first and only of the Four Nations. You've obviously got a bunch of best on best set up, and that's a big reason why, and that's great. But even like I was looking forward to this tournament. I got to say, I'm surprised at how seriously these guys are taking it. I mean, you've got Jack Eichel, who's won a Stanley Cup, and Matthew Tkachuk, who's won a Stanley Cup and has played in the Game 7. And they've both kind of said the same thing. They're like, this might be the biggest game I've ever played in. And I'm like,
yeah.
really?
And I thought that was interesting comment, because
I don't know if Sidney Crosby would tell you that, but
right. Yeah. You always think that the Stanley Cup is the standard. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to win the Stanley Cup. Especially in Canada. I think the U.S. players have been coming along over the years to view that as a huge prize too. I always wondered, though, what other countries really thought of the Stanley Cup. Like, what does David Pastrnak really, you saw him when Czechia finally won the World Championships. Like, that was so enormous for them. Would it be as enormous for him personally if he won a Stanley Cup? Because they don't grow up with a Stanley Cup as a real target goal. So. So I think that's part of the factor too. But yeah, I was really surprised that some of those players, I think Jack Eichel might have said it too. Like, there were players who said that this might be the biggest game they'll ever play. And that says a lot. And that's the part I didn't get, was that regardless of the tournament and who made it up and how many teams are in it, you're still playing with that flag on your jersey. So, and it means a lot more than I thought it meant.
And this is a group of kids who just grew up watching Miracle all the time before every tournament. So that's got to play. That's got to play a through it somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been so surprised by that and have loved this tournament. I thought one of the great takeaways for Bruins fans was Saturday against Canada. I thought Charlie McAvoy was one of the best players on the ice. You know, he gives up that half step to Connor McDavid. Who amongst us hasn't?
So did everybody. Yeah.
But he was outstanding after that. He lays one of the biggest hits I think McDavid's ever taken in his life. And he was awesome on the penalty kill. And I'm thinking, as a lot of Bruins fans were, and I think you guys talked about this too, is like, where's that been for us? That's the best I've seen him play in 2 years. Where's that been for us?
And that's true. But there's also what Smitty said that, you know, the 82 games, you can't do that every single night. Sure. You can't hit like that. You can't do those things all the time. And you saw it because now he's hurt. So you saw that that's what the result is if you do it every single night. And so I get that, but it is. And even Marchand said, or someone asked him about, you know, is this going to be something that gives you some juice for the rest of the season? He's like, I don't know, dude. I'm not even thinking of that right now. So, you know, it's this has just been different, and it's brought out different things and different players. It brought out the really good Charlie McAvoy that we've seen before but haven't seen in a while, you know, consistently. So that is kind of a head scratcher. It's a little disappointing, you know, for Bruins fans. It's hard to understand, but you know, this is a quick tournament where a lot's on the line for them, as you know, playing for their country. And so I guess that's kind of a different thing, but we didn't even really see McAvoy do that in the postseason last year. So it was really kind of eye opening as to all of a sudden, you're getting the best Charlie McAvoy. Why is that? So that's a little disappointing, I think, for fans, but I also get it from McAvoy's standpoint.
And it feels like with McAvoy too, like, I don't know if front runner is the right word, but I guess it kind of fits right, is that he has just been so much more impactful on better teams. Like, he's never going to play for a Bruins team as talented as this USA team, of course. No. But like, you think back to 2019, I thought he was one of the best players they had in that run to the final. I thought he was outstanding. 23 was the last one we saw him, night in, night out. And so, I mean, maybe he just needs some more help, but it just feels like you're not going to get that Charlie McAvoy as long as the roster's kind of in the state that it is right now.
Yeah, I thought, you know, when Chara left, they really haven't gotten him the right partner. Like, they, you know, Hampus was pretty good with him, but then not. And Matt Grzelcyk was like the best partner for him. BU kids playing together, but that's not what you want. So they really haven't been able to find that guy. I don't think you're going to see it in Lowry either. So, you know, he's out there playing with Zach Werenski and some of the best defensemen in the league. Then, yeah, that's going to bring out the best in him. But if he's dragging along Jordan Osterley, then, yeah, you're going to see him all over the ice trying to cover and trying to do things to cover for his partner, you know, and that kind of thing. So that's a good point. Like, I still don't think they've given him an adequate partner consistently since Chara retired.
And that's the best way to put it. Like, they don't need an all-star team. They just need someone who can complement him. And, you know, Matt Grzelcyk's not a first-pair defenseman. So
like Cale Makar has Taves. You know, he has
great compliment. Yeah.
And Taves is not you know, he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame, but he's a great pairing for that guy. So they need that with McAvoy. And I think it's something that they really have to target going forward, to find the right guy for him in that top pair.
And speaking of McAvoy, let's talk about the injury here. He comes from a Joel Armia cheap shot in that first game. Maybe I said on the show yesterday, maybe reignite that Bruins Canadiens rivalry just a little bit. Tough time to do it with the directions the teams are going. But certainly there's beef, if not beef between the Bruins and the Habs, there's certainly beef between the Bruins and Team USA. In that statement coming out yesterday when they announced that he was not going to play, it was pretty like particular from the Bruins. Like, he was reviewed by their medical staff, cleared to play. Then our guys saw him and realized he had a major injury and an infection. So, it might sound very simple, but do the Bruins have like a legitimate beef with how Team USA handled this? Or do you think this was like a Charlie McAvoy call of like, hey, it's a little banged up, but I want to play?
I think it's a beef with Team USA, and I think it's justified because I don't think it's the injury that matters. I think it's the injection or whatever happened with the shot or the recovery or the cleanliness of it, or something happened in the administration of the medicine that caused an infection. And they've had history. This is the Minnesota Wild team medical staff, and Bruins had a history with them because Pat Maroon, when he came over, they didn't love the medicals with him.
Right.
So there's a history with this particular medical staff. So the Bruins, now look, here's the other thing I said, like, Don Sweeney's there. He's the GM of Canada. Like, you have to know what's going on here, and to kind of throw your hands up and say, I can't believe, like, wouldn't you, if you're a star defenseman who you're paying, about the ass for the next 67 years, whatever the hell it is, like, wouldn't you like check in and be like, hey, especially if you didn't believe 100% in that medical staff, wouldn't you check in and be like, hey, what's going on there? Like, what are we going to do as far as recovery, and how are we going to treat this, and that kind of thing? And maybe they did, but I just think that there's a history there, and the Bruins are upset. But this is what happens when you have this type of tournament mid-season, and your star players, which they're all pretty much star players. There's no borderline AHLers out there. So
Eric Hall is playing for Finland, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Shea Taylor
for Finland, yeah.
Shea Taylor is out for God knows when with a broken wrist. That kills Vegas. Like, so yeah. I mean, this is going to happen. Auston Matthews is banged up with a new injury. So, this is what's going to happen with 25 games left in the season, and players trying to get and teams trying to get the playoff push. So it's an odd time. So, yeah, I think that the Bruins are justified. I don't think it's look. Players want to play, and if they think they can play and they get medical clearance, they're going to play. Especially in this, like, they're not playing San Jose on a Thursday night.
Yeah,
like, so he's going to play. So I think it was the whole treatment of it, and then the infection that was the issue. I don't think it's the injury per se, because injuries happen. I mean, he can get hit by a car in the parking lot. Like, injuries,
right? Yeah, so, and it does feel weird. It does feel weird that the Bruins. I mean, I guess we don't know what kind of say they had in this, but at least can we get Cam in the room there?
Something.
I mean, and even Sweeney. I know Sweeney's running the other team that they knew they were going to play in the finals anyway, realistically. But this is a tournament put on by the NHL. This is not an IHF thing, so it's like. I mean, it's kind of all within the purview of the NHL teams anyway. I do want to ask about, because one of the things that hasn't really been discussed much in this Bruins season is they are going to be looking for a head coach here. And I know you guys have brought up some names in the past, and I'm wondering, this tournament is going to elevate some players and the way they're looked at. Could it be the same way for the coaches? We look at Mike Sullivan in Pittsburgh. That team's looking to blow it up, right? And so Mike Sullivan's probably looking for, could be thinking about moving on and going somewhere else too. Obviously, former Bruins coach, mass guy. I even worry about, I saw David Quinn up on the clipboard drawing it up. I know he was in the talks when it was Montgomery, right? It was Quinn talks, and you're gonna have Charlie McAvoy saying, like, yeah, really love Quinny, played for him at BU. But anyway, do you think that there are, some guys coaching in this tournament right now that could be targets for the Bruins, even though a lot of them are tied in with other NHL teams?
I think Mike Sullivan is a natural fit. Like, the Bruins do a lot in-house. Like, they do a lot. They don't go outside the organization much. Like, Mike Sullivan is, like you said, familiar. He's Charlie McAvoy's father-in-law. Like, so if it comes down between David Quinn and Mike Sullivan, and I think McAvoy wants Quinn. That's weird.
It's tough endorsement.
I don't want Quinn. I don't want Quinn anywhere near my hockey club. I didn't want him last year. I don't want him now. It just doesn't get it done in the NHL. In hindsight, the Bruins probably should have pushed harder for Spencer Carberry, who's doing a great job with Washington. That might have been the guy in the end, but none of us knew that then. So I'm not going to act like I knew that. So I think, but Mike Sullivan is definitely a natural fit if Pittsburgh moves on from him. I think he would be interested in the Bruins job, and I think it would be a good fit. Like, he didn't. he didn't. I mean, he at the end of the day, he lost his job here, and that kind of thing. But I think it would be obviously a natural fit, local ties. Bruins love that. They know the guy. So I think that could be on the radar. I don't know what direction they're going to go in. I just hope it's a guy with NHL experience. I hope it's a guy with a good amount of it, with respect in the locker room. They'll allow him to coach the hockey club, pick the lineup,
That would be nice.
do all that stuff. That's what I hope for. I don't want, some college guy. I don't want Ryan Mujanel. I don't want some assistant coach they've had. I don't want any of that. I want a guy who, and Mike Sullivan would be, I don't know if he'd be my top choice, but he'd be an adequate choice for me.
I think I would. I mean, I like Mike Sullivan. I do. I think at this point, kind of what you were just talking about there, I think I'd rather take a John Tortorella than a David Carl, just because of just because we've kind of been there and done that. And as we're talking about this, I'm like, boy, could Carl be a good target for Pittsburgh? They're going to blow it up. They're going to have a ton of young guys, right? Like, this is obviously a guy who has great experience with the young players, the World Juniors and all that, and Denver. So I think that could be an avenue for Pittsburgh so that Mike Sullivan can come to the Bruins.
Sure.
And if they want to keep it all Bruins, Massachusetts guys, you can just hire Billy Guerin as the GM as well. I mean, that might be an upgrade. So he's had a good eye for talent in Minnesota. And
another former Bruin who had one great year with the Bruins.
Yes, lest we forget. Yeah. Anyway, we've got the Four Nations tonight. Bruins head back out onto the ice Saturday. I think they play Saturday and Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
Saturday night, Saturday and Sunday they play Anaheim.
Yeah.
They've got 5 or 6 kind of non-playoff-ish teams. Nashville's in there. So they have to win them all. They got Toronto, I think, the next day. So it's Anaheim, Toronto at home, then the Islanders at home. So they need 6 points right there. Need 6 points.
I was thinking
thought of doing it.
I was thinking the silver lining of the McAvoy injury would be that it would force the Bruins to sell, but you hit it almost bad timing. They're going to win some games here.
If they win those 3 and they're in if they have a wild card, they're not selling. They would never do that. Now, if they lose all 3, then yeah. So I really believe they're looking to see how they do coming out of the gate. And if they win, it'll be a little bit of this, a little bit of that. If they lose, there's a shot. But if they win the first 3 at home, then they're going to be in a playoff position. They're not going to blow it up in the playoffs. So it's just, I can't believe.
Get used to it, Bruins fans.
I can't believe that the Bruins organization is looking at these 7 games and don't know their team enough to understand that. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
And mortgaging their future on that, yeah.
They're going to be in a bind.
I watched this Team USA, and I know this is no hot take, but there's just so many guys I look at down the roster, and I just say, I would give anything for these guys to play for the Bruins. I would do any trade. The 2 that come up in terms of just guys who kind of might have been available in the past, might be available in the future. I think of Brady Tkachuk and Jack Eichel. Just blank check, give them whatever they want, man.
I mean,
God, is he a good player right now? Eichel.
Tkachuk, honestly, with Tkachuk, I think I would want Brady over Matthew, to be honest with you.
I'd take it, yeah.
Slightly. But I would love Eichel just because he's a center. BU, Chelmsford, the whole thing. I think Eichel would be a really great player here. I think that's exactly what they need. And that lets everything else kind of fall into place. And you put him with Pasternak, and you have a legitimate top line, the legitimate team. That's the whole thing, everything. Give him 14, 15 million a year, whatever it is. Let it fly. Mikko Rantanen's still unsigned.
That's true, man. That's out there. One of the other players I was thinking of for USA was Gensel too, which we've talked about a bunch. It's that kind of same thing. Don't just get the money ball this shit. Get the production.
Just get the really great player. Just get the guy who can score goals. Figure out the rest. I don't know what they're going to do though. I still think they'll trade Fred Frederick, and I really believe that if they don't come out of the gate strong, that they'll trade Marchand. I'm on that Marchand getting traded bandwagon. I am.
I love Marchand to death, but I I think that would be a good thing for the organization.
It would.
If they do it right. I mean, there's obviously a way they can fuck it up, but
Sure.
I think it's tough to do. There are going to be contenders that really want that guy.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
Anyway, Matt Barry, Bruins Benders podcast. You guys love the post game for all the games coming up. It's starting Saturday night. You're back to work.
Yeah, we're back to work tonight. Actually, tonight we're doing post game for USA Canada. What the hell?
Let's go.
We'll talk about USA Canada tonight. Yeah, right after the game on YouTube. Yeah,
I'll be in. I'll have a couple of Bender sips during the game.
Yeah,
so who knows how coherent these messages will be? But
let's do it.
Can't wait. Matt Barry of the Bruins Benders podcast. You heard him. He's got USA Canada post game tonight. Joins us every Thursday. Matt, always appreciate the time.
Oh, you bet, buddy. To see you soon.
We will see him next Thursday, as a matter of fact. Bruins Benders podcast, my favorite Bruins podcast to listen to. Guys, check it out. We do have some more buildup. The final buildup to USA Canada round 2 for all the marbles. That's next on the Cam Show.
Shades is your trusted partner in stage lighting, offering a wide range of high-quality, innovative products since 2015. With designs that cater to all needs, fast delivery, and affordable prices, we provide exceptional customer service to ensure your satisfaction. With warehouses across the globe and sales in over 100 countries, Sheds is quickly becoming one of the most recognized names in the stage lighting industry. Visit shehds.com today to discover top-tier stage lighting solutions and become part of our global network.
Introducing Muck-Off's classic pink bike cleaner, powered by revolutionary nanotechnology that breaks down dirt and grime on a microscopic level while protecting your bike's delicate finish. Developed by our mad developer Alex and tested by riders, our products are made by riders for riders. Discover more at us.muc-off.com, where we break the mold to bring you the best in bike care.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels, our rebounders improve accuracy, control, and technique in both sports. Built with premium materials for durability and ease of use, they're ideal for training anywhere, anytime. Whether you're perfecting your soccer game or sharpening your lacrosse skills, Open Goal USA has you covered. Visit opengoaalusa.com and elevate your training today.
Chapellex is a full-category shapewear brand dedicated to providing women with exceptional comfort and support. We offer thoughtfully designed solutions that blend style with functionality, empowering women to feel confident and at ease every day. Chapellex is redefining what it means to have a perfect body. Our mission celebrates body positivity, embracing every shape and size, because true beauty lies in authenticity. Visit shapellx.com today and join a movement towards self-love, acceptance, and confidence.
Indulge in Blum's luxurious Lotus flower rolls. The green Lotus roll bursts with a caramel apple flavor, while the blue Lotus roll offers a smooth berry cream sensation. With our Crush for Flavor technology, enjoy an instant burst of natural, intense flavor anytime you desire. Elevate your experience with the finest creations nature has to offer. Explore the full collection at blumleaf.com. That's BLUUMLEAF.com. Blumleaf. Golf Partner, the world's largest golf store network, offers more purchasing opportunities than anywhere else. With a dominant market share and a wider selection of quality secondhand golf clubs than our competitors, we make it easy for you to enjoy the game with affordable, top-quality equipment. Join us at golfpartnerusa.com and discover why we're the trusted choice for golf lovers worldwide. That's GOLFPARTNERUSA.com. Golf Partner. At Terrapin Ridge Farms, they believe in the joy of effortless entertaining. Inspired by CEO Mary O'Donnell's mom and her legendary holiday parties, they've crafted a line of gourmet foods that turn any meal into a celebration. From savory jams to mustards, aiolis, and more, their products are made with love, bringing unforgettable flavors to your table. Whether it's a casual get-together or a special occasion, they make it easy to impress. Terrapin Ridge Farms, where great food and great memories come together. Visit them at terrapinridge.com. Terrapin Ridge.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
It is the Cam Show. It's Rogue Media Sports Network. Zach, can we get you in here? This is important. We have got the build-up to the Four Nations final tonight. U.S., Canada. I've talked about it being an event. We have talked about it being an event. And now, like, even in this commercial break, I'm going through the Twitter timeline, and all on my social media is either like Canadians bringing up the 2010 gold medal game, or the U.S. fans doing or playing the video of Kurt Russell's Herb Brooks speech in the movie Miracle. It is just all over the place. I watched the NHL did their kind of behind the scenes Four Nations thing last night. It was pretty solid, nothing crazy. This is excited as I've been about a game, Zach, since.
You want me to maybe make you feel a little bit more excited? Maybe it won't.
Oh man.
This will be, I guess technically the second one, just because he was there, but we didn't talk about it while it was going on. I plan to watch tonight. Like walking.
That's big. That's already exciting right there.
My son is to a point where I have to walk him around for him to like just kind of do that. So I will walk around as we watch the game together, and I will be able to sit there and talk to him like, hey, this is what's going on. The first major sporting event in his little like 3-month-old life that I'm going to sit there and talk him through is going to be like, you know, Team USA versus Team Canada. He was in the room for the Super Bowl. We try to do that thing of like, you know, he's young. We can't let him see like screen stuff. He was there while it was going on, but this is going to be like, I'm rocking him like, oh, like we're going to be getting excited together and watching it. Like this is a big moment.
Hell yes.
Big father-son moment to root on Team USA. Right?
This is huge. This is huge. This tournament has taken on a life of its own. It's like, you know, those memes where it's like, oh no, I've accidentally become important at work.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, that's kind of what the NHL's got to be feeling of like, oh my God, actually, this is like one of the biggest games we've ever had. This is all of a sudden huge. Did you hear Jack Eichel? He said this is the biggest game he's ever played in. We're important at work now. We are important to the sport. Mm-hmm. This right here, this made up tournament, this Fugazi tournament, just pick 4 teams.
So, and it's funny you bring this up because I know a lot of talk has been given to the NBA, and I had this thought because I think Giannis and some of the other foreign guys were like, oh, we'd adopt and we'd be cool with like a, you know, team versus the world, or, you know, Team USA versus the world and stuff again. And I think about that. I'm like, yeah, that'd be fun. But there's no way that like Team USA is losing to anybody else at that point. Like I hate the basketball
seriously.
Exactly. Basketball is not to that point now where it's developed in the other countries. But with this, to me, like Canada has always been like, it's their sport. So this is, yes. We have these moments of where it's like, it just feels like, oh yeah, no, we're on, like, you got to watch out for us. We're on that level. And it doesn't feel the same as it does in other sports where it does in something like this, of where it means more. And it's another, like, you know, notch in the cap of like, we're here to your level now. Finally.
Yeah. The thing with the basketball one is like, you can obviously put together a really talented kind of rest of the world team, but I think they would take it way more seriously. So that if you did something like this, by like the second year, you'd have like Dalton Connect playing for Team USA.
Yeah.
And like, well, that sucks. That's what's great about this tournament. They're all the best players. They're all playing if they can. I mean, some of them have been hurt, but they're all out there playing and obviously taking it very, very seriously, which is just, it feels like that kind of generational moment. And I talked about it on Pete's show of like, not just hockey in America, but the fact that the NBA is down right now, albeit it could be a blip on the radar, but it is kind of down right now. And the other thing too is like you talked about it, Zach, just then of, you know, kind of being like, well, hey, we're here on the block too, and that's what it always has felt like for USA Hockey. But this one more than ever, because of how talented this team is, and your kind of success in the World Juniors and everything, it's like, we might not, like, we could be knocking Canada off the block right now and for a decade. Like, we could be neck and neck with them at least for a decade here, especially if we win this tournament. Even if they don't, I mean, they're still going to be very talented for the Olympics next year. That's not going to change. But the U.S. is in as good a position in hockey as they have ever been. And it's not even particularly close. Like that 2010 team was pretty good. 2014 in the Olympics was good. Obviously 96, they won the World Cup of Hockey. But this is just insane talent. You know, I mean, we're talking about first line guys on playoff teams playing on the fourth line. And the U.S. has not ever really had that. And that's why this one, I think, is so cool, this championship game in particular, because it might be the first and only four nations, but it's just the tip of the iceberg, man. You and I, Zach, we're going to be seeing a lot of USA-Canada hockey for the next decade.
I'm excited about that. And this is coming from a guy who I have always enjoyed the sport of hockey, but I've never been like a massive diehard of it. But this is something that has been like, I've cared about this. I followed Quinn Hughes' injury news for days for this. Not to say that obviously it's not, but that's not something I usually do. And here I am like, oh, he's not going to be able to make it now then. Well, fucking great. Like, I am invested in this.
By the way, can I say I've kind of come around to that being bullshit. Like, and it's funny, the Canadians are the ones that I'm seeing actually make this point. Biz did it on Spit and Chicklets, and Elliot Friedman did it, of like, dude, this is a tournament run by the NHL. Like, honestly, any team should kind of be allowed to pick anybody from the NHL that they want at this point. Like, for that obviously plays for their country. Like, it shouldn't be like, oh, well, you know, they didn't have this guy on the original roster or whatever. Like, it should just be, dude, like, the U.S. should just be able to go out and get Quinn Hughes. And you know what? Canada should be able to go out and get someone else that they want. Oh, you know, we don't like the way that that Brandon Hagel's been playing. We're going to go out and get X, you know, or the U.S. Vinny Trocheck is stunk. Let's get Tage Thompson for the last. Like, you should be able to do that, man. It's part of the break. Like, it's NHL run. I think you should just get nuts with this thing and let them do that.
No, I like that because it's then like, all right, we didn't like how we approached this. We're going to come in with a different game plan. These players are best suited for that. And now, you know what, you have a completely different, you know, Team USA or Team Canada playing to try to make up for how the other game went. You're making,
yeah, man. Just like,
yeah, exactly.
Just as the U.S. should be able to go get Quinn Hughes or Tage Thompson, Canada should be able to get Tom Wilson. You know, a guy who scores goals but is really going to muck it up. Like, you know, the way the U.S. is going to play. We've already seen him. Like, hell yeah, man, bring it on. Like, that's what this tournament should be versus other tournaments. And what we'll see, obviously, with the Olympics, it's way different, and the World Cup of Hockey will be different. But, like, you had the chance to just kind of get nuts with it. Gary Bettman should have just been like, yes, each team can go out and get one player. Pick whomever you want from your nation. Go and pick them.
I'm cool with that. Instead, they've turned into the Houston Texans offense and aren't allowed to make adjustments. So.
Yeah, just there you go. Just stinks. And like the U.S. is, I mean, both teams are banged up, but certainly the U.S., you know, Matthew Tkachuk didn't play in the last game, precautionary. Matthews didn't play in the last game, precautionary. McAvoy out. Brady Tkachuk leaves that game early against Sweden. Vinny Trocheck looked hurt. He's been terrible this tournament. He's been the only U.S. player that I thought's been pretty bad. So it's going to be kind of a limp to the finish line here. I think the U.S. will play physical, probably not quite as much as they did on Saturday. But I'm interested to hear what you thought, Zach. I know you heard a bit of that discussion that I had with Pete on Pete's show of this moment and how the NHL can really take advantage of what the NBA has going on right now. I know you're an NBA guy, like you Rockets guy, and Rockets are having a great year. Celtics are obviously great, but I think you and I can both agree. It's like, yeah, it's fun watching my team. I don't want to be that guy that bitches so hard about it, but like, this is not the most entertaining form of NBA I've ever seen. Not even close.
That's true. I am a big NBA fan, and it is one of those things of even if like in the years past, even if the Rockets are bad, which has been a lot of it, like I'll still find other games to watch, like when there's a TNT primetime game on or something like that. I find myself watching it less and less, and I don't know if it's just a sense of where the product feels watered down as much as it feels like that could be some of it, but also there's no like storylines in a way of like what's going on. The excitement, and maybe that'll pick up during the playoffs. Like maybe something will happen with the, you know, but at least right now in hockey, and granted, it's not even with the teams itself, but there's buzz instead of coming off of an all-star break where, you know, everybody's complaining about the format that you had. the NHL is dealing with a break where they have gotten, some of the most viewership they have in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So now is the time to strike. I did really like your point. Thought it was very good about how some of the big, American franchises aren't where they need to be to kind of fully take advantage of this right now. But that doesn't mean that you still can't prosper from it in a sense. And I think that the momentum they've built should help at least the second half of, I'll be interested to see if it does pick up momentum, at least in fan engagement for the second half of the season.
Yeah, I do. I am really bummed out by the fact that the major market, like Chicago, Boston, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, New York Rangers, I don't think any of those teams are going to make the playoffs. And that kind of stinks. You obviously have some good, non-traditional markets that are very good. Florida and Vegas and teams like that. But the other thing too is you'll see this with your Senators, and obviously Detroit, huge American market, a great hockey town. Half the East is still in the playoff picture. Technically, the Bruins and Rangers still are too. This is going to come right down to the wire, and I think Detroit will get in, and that'll be a huge help. But yeah, I think they'll still be able to pounce on it, but maybe not as much as if some of those teams were good. It could be a great deal for the U.S. and hockey in the NHL. But anyway, Pete made me make a prediction. I said 2-1 U.S. Zach, do you have a prediction for us?
I don't want to go with my gut. I have a feeling, and I think it's some of and I hope I'm wrong. I know, that's why I don't want to.
Canada wins these games.
Canada
does win these games.
I'm thinking of, and we talked about it the other day, where it was Team USA took game 1, and then Canada came back and got the shit. What tournament was it? Was it 2010? I'm blanking. I'm doing bad. Anyway, the point that I think that USA came out in game 1 and gave it everything they had. The injuries kind of worry me just a little bit, just to see how they are able to deal with that. Because I do expect a physical game, and I expect it to be another close game. But it's not going to shock me if it's a 3-2 Canada win. I feel like the Canadians really want, but that's the beauty of this is I think that USA is going to be getting a Team Canada that's ready to freaking play tonight. I think both teams are going to be. I think it's going to be emotionally charged. I think it's going to be great hockey. And I think, and maybe this just comes down also to, the little bit of a pro wrestling fan in me, you got to get the back and forth, the tit for tat, and you're going to carry on the hatred there by Canada coming in and grabbing. You're going to split. U.S. gets the win in Canada. Canada gets the win in the U.S., and then everybody still hates each other again until they play next year.
And that'll be a long year for whomever loses, man.
It is, and it just builds until then.
Be a long year, but we're going to see a lot of U.S. Canada.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope that we get the 2-1 win that you're feeling.
By the way, the NBA is trying its damnedest. They know everyone's talking about the Four Nations final today. Breaking news just a few minutes ago: Victor Wembanyama out for the season for the San Antonio Spurs. It is deep vein thrombosis in the right shoulder.
Okay.
Whatever that is.
This is going to sound weird, but just as a Rockets fan, it's a good thing it's not foot related, as a guy who had to deal with Yao Ming for that long
time.
Yes,
that's the kiss of death for the big men. Yao and obviously Bill Walton being the big one. That is the absolute kiss of death. But anyway, we're a hockey podcast. We're a hockey show anyway, and we'll be watching this game tonight. Zach and his son will be watching this game tonight. Thank you to Zach. Thank you to Matt Barry, the Bruins Benders podcast, and thank you to all of you for tuning in live every weekday on YouTube, high noon Eastern time. We'll have the full breakdown tomorrow. Don't you worry, and we will see you then on the Camp Show.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internext.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Tusains, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.